So here is a video. Let me post this. It's on X. And it's Secretary Brooke Rollins. She said on her first day of USDA, we told every state to send us their SNAP data so we can make sure illegal immigrants aren't getting benefits meant for Americans. 29 states stepped up. 21 blue states refused. The 2 sued for asking. And guess what? In just the states that cooperated, we've already uncovered massive fraud. The Democrat Party has turned its back on working Americans and built an entire strategy around protecting illegal aliens. They know if the handouts stop, those illegals will go back home and the Democrats will lose 20 plus seats in the next census. There's a new sheriff in town.
Visit faithandfreedom.tv and download the Faith and Freedom TV app today. Deception floods our airwaves, but Faith and Freedom TV fights back with truth. Our bold content, news, shows, Bible teachings, worship, and films shines with biblical conviction and patriotic courage, free from globalist lies. We empower Christian patriot creators to share faith and liberty. Access thousands of videos on Roku, Fire TV, Apple TV, Android, and iOS. Join the battle at faithandfreedom.tv.
Ray, what do you want to do tonight?
The same thing we do every night, Pinky. Try to take over the world.
Hey friends, welcome back to another episode of The Amber May Show. Hoodies are in. You can grab yours at theambermayshow.com. Hit the merchandise tab. It's so comfy. These hoodies are comfy. You could get the zippered kind or just the pullover kind. And now is the perfect time to get your hoodie because it's getting cold out there. And so grab yourself a hoodie, get snuggle and get cozy. It's so comfortable. Again, you can get it at theambermayshow.com at the merchandise tab. I am so glad you're here. I am so glad you joined. Welcome to the show. If you're new to the show, if you've been a long time viewer but never been a part of our friend circle, join the chat. Come on over, say hello. We'd love to welcome you. We have a great friend circle going on right here on the chat. And hey, for all the Arizona people, the time has moved. Everyone else, the time is the same. Only for the Arizona people, the time has moved. So now the show airs at 4 p.m. Monday, Wednesday, Friday in Arizona. It's still 6 p.m. Eastern, but for Arizona people from 3 to 4 now, okay? And then my show Tuesday and Thursday for the Arizona people only, my show has moved to 12. For everyone else, it's still 2 p.m. Eastern. So Arizona doesn't change the time like everybody else does. So sometimes we're supposed to be Mountain Standard, and sometimes we are right now, we're the same time as everyone else in Mountain Standard. But when the time changes and Mountain Standard, we don't change times, we don't move our clocks forwards or backwards, we end up being on Pacific time. So we are no longer on Pacific time. So the show now for Arizona viewers only, 4 p.m. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and 12 noon Tuesday, Thursday. It's still 6 p.m. Eastern, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. It's still 2 p.m. Eastern on Tuesday and Thursday. This only applies for Arizona people. Well, hey, on my show today, I'm excited. I welcome back President Scott Walters. He's from the Capital Research Center, and they just issued a report called Infiltrated. The ideological capture of homelessness advocacy demonstrates how a growing number of organizations in the homeless policy space are aligned with radical, even extremist worldviews, ranging from anti-police and anti-capitalistic movements to groups that express support for foreign terrorist organizations. These actors have exploited structural vulnerabilities in the nonprofit sector, lax oversight, complex funding channels, and even the legal system to push ideas that are not merely unorthodox but are deeply destabilizing. And he is also the author of Arabella, the dark money network of leftist billionaires secretly transforming America. Ever heard of Arabella? Probably not, but you should go get his book. The link is in the description, or you can find it on Amazon. And so again, he is the author of Dark Money. He is the president of Capital Research Center. He served the George W. Bush administration as special assistant to the president for domestic policy. He was a vice president at the Philanthropic Roundtable, editing Philanthropy magazine, and producing donor guidebooks on aid to the poor, public policy research, and other topics. Walter has testified on dark money, nonprofits to the U.S. House and Senate, IRS, and state legislators. So he is joining me on today's program. We're going to get a little bit about all the rhetoric about the SNAP, and all these Democrats on social media are blaming President Trump for withholding money, even though 2 federal judges said that he should be able to fund the SNAP program. Remember, the federal judges, they're in a local district, right? They cannot make national laws, national policies, their district. It's kind of like my supervisors in Maricopa County making some kind of edict. It doesn't apply nationwide. It only applies to Maricopa County. So these district federal judges, they act like they have a lot of power, but the Supreme Court already ruled on that kind of stuff, that they do not have the ability to mandate nationwide. And if the Democrats would just come to the table, it'd be funded, I'm sure. So we're going to get into a little bit of that today. So I hope you'll like, share, subscribe, repost the show. I'd appreciate a repost. And also grab yourself a hoodie at theambermayshow.com. Hit the merchandise tab. Grab yourself a hoodie. Tomorrow is premium day. So make sure you hit the button below and become a premium sponsor with Rumble. Right there, for $10 a month, you get access to all premium sponsors or premium content across Rumble with no ads. And if $10 a month is too expensive for you, right here in the Rumble chat, you can subscribe to my channel for $5 a month and get access to all my premium content, because I have behind the scenes with Amber May, and I can't wait to share with you what I did over the weekend. I'm excited to share that with you. And also, well, I'm going to get into that tomorrow. I have something very exciting that happened to me over the weekend, and I'm going to share it with you tomorrow. So you have to be premium to subscribe. Okay, I always add more content. Join me on Telegram at The Amber May Show. I'm on True Social Amber May, Frank Social Amber May, PicX.com, and X at DJ Amber May. So follow me there. And how about we just get on with the program, shall we? Here we go.
On the Amber May Show, the truth runs deep, fighting for the lost, for the souls who weep, breaking the silence, making a stand, a voice for the people across this land. Children stolen, lives betrayed, she won't back down, she's lighting the way, a beautiful warrior with faith so bright, holding the line in this endless fight. On the Amber May Show, the truth runs deep, fighting for the lost, for the souls who weep, breaking the silence, making a stand, a voice for the people across this land.
It's wonderful to be back with you guys. I'm excited. Thank you for all joining me today. Again, if you've been a long-time viewer but haven't been a part of our chat circle, come and say hello. We'd love to welcome you to our friends group. You know, today I'm going to be talking a little bit about the SNAP benefits and the rhetoric that goes along with it. Well, Donald Trump, it's Donald Trump. Donald Trump, he's the reason. Of course, everything's Donald Trump. But if people took civic, and here's the thing, the people in Congress who should know better because they sit in government should know their responsibilities. It's not up to the president of the United States to create a budget and to fund government. That is clearly in the lane of Congress, whether the House and the Senate. They're the ones who fund government, okay? That's it. It's not the president of the United States. He can't, and the House controls the purse, okay? The House controls the purse. And right now, the ball is sitting in the Senate. Should they do the nuclear option? Part of me says they should get our agenda going. Part of me says, I don't know if that's great, because when the Democrats are in charge, are they going to just push their agenda and then we have no power, no recourse? It's one of those games you kind of have to weigh out and hope that you make the right choice. Maybe the nuclear option is best. I mean, I was at an event over the weekend, and I'll tell you about it tomorrow. And I got to meet Border Patrol guys, and they're not getting paid right now because of the shutdown. So the nuclear option could be great. But what I'm going to be talking about today is how much money public health services, like public services, SNAP, welfare, government money, you know, things that housing, like free housing, medical, free medical, and free food for people. I've personally witnessed illegals getting it. When I was going to college, I worked at a bank here in the Valley, and I worked in South Phoenix, which is heavily populated by Hispanics. It really does look like Mexico and South Phoenix. Everything's written in Spanish. You have all the small town type businesses that, you would find in Mexico. It really does. I mean, it doesn't look like the United States of America. It looks like little Mexico. And what they would do is these people would have fake social security numbers. They had fake IDs, fake driver's license, fake IDs, and they would get paid really good paychecks. I don't know. I can't remember now. It was so many years ago. But they'd bring in it was every Friday. We had such long lines because, the Hispanic community likes to use cash, which is great. I think that's noble of them. And our lobby would be filled all day long with people cashing their checks. And the drive-thru would be filled all day long with people cashing their checks. A lot of money would go to Mexico, and we would get them, and they would want to cash their check. They'd put a little bit of money into their checking account. They would say this. They weren't shy about it. And they say, oh, we need a statement for DES or DCS or whatever. I don't know if that's even the right acronym. The ones that give you the food stamps and the housing and stuff like that, and the medical, whatever that organization is. I don't remember. Department of Economic Security, I think is the name of it. They would tell us to print a statement, and it would have very little money in it. And then they'd go and get the benefits. Now, when I was about 18, 19 years old, I got my first house. I had lost my job. I got stressed out because my first time on my own, and all the responsibilities fall on me, and I have to pay the bills. And I went and tried to get help, and I wanted food stamps or some kind of money assistance until I got my next job. I mean, I was looking, right? And they literally told me I wasn't Mexican. I wasn't going to get anything. I was so upset and furious about that because I didn't see color until I came out of the office, and it was full of Hispanics. So I was pissed. And so these videos are going to be showing you that illegals do get free government assistance. So all that welfare money that our tax money is going to people that are not even, they are going to U.S. residents, to U.S. citizens. But a lot, and I witnessed it personally when I worked at the bank, a lot of it also goes to illegal immigrants. So here is a video. Let me post this. It's on X, and it's Secretary Brooke Rollins. She said on her first day of USDA, we told every state to send us their SNAP data so we can make sure illegal immigrants aren't getting benefits meant for Americans. 29 states stepped up. 21 blue states refused. The 2 sued for asking. And guess what? In just the states that cooperated, we've already uncovered massive fraud. The Democrat Party has turned its back on working Americans and built an entire strategy around protecting illegal aliens. They know if the handouts stop, those illegals will go back home, and Democrats will lose 20 plus seats in the next census. There's a new sheriff in town. The president of the United States will not tolerate waste, fraud, or abuse for hardworking Americans to go hungry. Here we go.
Day one of USDA, February 13th, is we sent letters to every governor in America being very clear that no illegal aliens can use SNAP. 0, 0, 0. We asked every state for the first time in history, and this was in February, to send us their data and let us, with Doge and a war room, actually start going through this data to better understand how this explosion of SNAP benefits happened under Joe Biden. We increased almost 40% on this program in just a couple of years under the Biden administration. Of course, we know they were trying to buy the election, but that's a conversation for another time. And since we have asked for that data, 29 states have complied. Of course, almost all the red states, a couple of couple blue states too. But in that data, and I haven't talked about this yet publicly, in that data we've studied about $100 billion in spend. We have found thousands and thousands of illegal use of the EBT card. We have been moving people off of SNAP. We've got almost 700,000 people, I think, we've moved off just since the president took office. We've arrested about 118 people. So this has been ongoing. But Rachel, to your point, what this conversation has allowed is a national spotlight on a broken and corrupt program. We found one guy in 6 different states getting a benefit. We found about 5,000 people that are dead who are still getting benefits. Like, it is time to drastically reform this program so that we can make sure that those who are truly needy, truly vulnerable, are getting what they need, and the rest of the corruption goes away and we can serve the American taxpayer.
And we're going to be talking about more corruption later on in today with Scott, because this on homelessness at the second part of the show. But this is, so you could call this the show of corruption, how they're using and misfunneling our money, taxpayer money, to people that do not get, who are, it's illegal for them to get illegals. It's illegal for illegals to get the money like SNAP, like medical benefits. And that will save us a lot of money in debt if we could get them off of the public service. And then we're going to be talking about the homeless, and how our grant money goes to supposedly help the homeless, but the homeless aren't being helped. So today you could say it's a show about fraud and exposing fraud. But this gentleman, Eric Daugherty, I like following him on X, because he says that there was this voter named Dwayne, and he's running for LAPS around the Democrats. So laps around the Democrats. Oh, he was running for office. So Eric Daugherty, I like following him on X. There's this voter named Dwayne, and he's running laps around the Democrats right now. And he said, if you want to negotiate healthcare subsidies, you shouldn't be holding the U.S. citizens hostage. So let's hear from him right now, because that's how I feel. You want to do this? Okay. You need to vote yes on opening the government. See, all of these problems stem from the Democrats. Remember, John Fetterman said they're the ones who wrote this Obamacare and the subsidies to come to an end. They're the ones who did that. He said, if you want to blame anyone, blame the Democrats. But the Democrats are going to use this as a talking point to say how Donald Trump's so bad and evil, and how the Republicans are so bad and evil. But yeah, it takes 60 unless they want to nuke that option and just go to the minority vote instead of having a 60 vote majority, a vote on this clean CR, or vote on anything. Maybe this is the way to get our agenda across. Maybe we don't need, I don't know what the right answer is. I'm looking in the chat. Do you guys think we should do the nuclear option and get rid of the 60 vote requirement and just have the simple majority? I'd like to see your comments on that. But here he is, and he's saying, hey, just come to the table. And that's what I'm saying. Come to the table. But it's not talking points. They won't have the talking points about how evil Donald Trump is. And they won't have the talking points to say, oh, Donald Trump's not starving people anymore. And it's Donald Trump's fault because people are losing their health care. So they'll lose the talking points. So they don't want to come to the table right now. But here we go.
That they put in place that were temporary. The Democrats made sure that it expired at this time. This was not the Republicans. Second of all, if you want to negotiate on those subsidies, you shouldn't be holding the U.S. citizens hostage. It's just that simple. It's wrong when Republicans do it. It's wrong when Democrats do it. And the fact that the Democrats have voted over 13 times to not open up the government, if they care about food, we shouldn't be talking about emergency funds. We should be having an open government. And I think that no member of Congress should be getting paid.
Bring the House back into session.
But it's already in the Senate.
The Senate is already in the Senate. You don't get to say that the House bill automatically passes.
Sometimes the Senate, that the Biden era is spending at levels. Biden levels does not happen.
I have to.
That they put in
it's
place
like they don't want to listen to logic and reason. Did you see that guy cutting him off? And he's like, listen, this was under the Biden administration. When the Democrats voted for it back then, nothing has changed. So stop holding the people hostage. But the brainwashing, because the Republicans are evil and Donald Trump's so evil that, we have to blame everything on Donald Trump and the Republicans. It's the only playbook they have. And unfortunately, it works for some time. When we come back from a break, we're going to listen to a clip from the United States Secretary of Homeland Security, Kristi Noem, because she's going to be talking about the Biden-Harris terrorist administration awarded over 9 million illegal alien social security numbers. Now, I witnessed this back in 2000 during the Bush administration when he was in office, and when the Obama, I was at the radio station during the Obama administration. So it was during Bush's administration that I saw all these social securities that were fake. It's been happening for a very long time, and I'm glad that it's finally coming to the public. It's about time. So we're going to take a break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about that. Now, if you are in need of health care, and that's the topic of the day, right? The subsidies are going away. If you need an alternative to health care, there's a health sharing plan. I'm going to tell you about it right now. After COVID, many of us are waking up to the fact that our government, big media, big pharma lies to us. Is it possible with turbo cancers on the rise that big pharma's reputation at zero, that Americans are finally ready to hear the truth about cancer? Are you ready? In the 70s, a doctor working for a Natural Cancer Institute discovered that apricot seeds, which contains B17, actually slows the growth of tumors. That doctor's work was suppressed severely by big government, big media, and big pharma. Richardson Nutritional Center has had enough of the bullying and now are courageously your source for B17. So please visit them at rncstore.com/Amber May and use promo code Amber May to get a discount.
I'm Steve Gruber from Real America's Voice, and you're watching The Amber May Show.
Why pay more for less care? That's the question of the day. And with insurance premiums keep rising while benefits shrink, Impact Health Sharing offers a smarter, more affordable way. Impact Health Sharing is a nonprofit alternative to insurance built for health-conscious families and organizations. No provider networks, choose any doctor or hospital, transparent pricing, no surprises, wellness rewards, reduce your annual household PRA by up to $150 a month, stable costs, no across-the-border price increase in 5+ years, complimentary telehealth annual wellness visit, and $150 annual lab credit. Get your pricing in seconds, and the easiest way to do that is click the link below in the description or go to shareadvocate.com/CL0RH4X01. So click the link below or click on that link right there and get started on an affordable option to paying for your health care costs. And now we return to the show already in progress. Thank you guys for joining me today on the Amber May Show. Now, the holidays are approaching, and after the holidays, most people are more conscious about their weight. If you're interested in changing your life and losing weight now and not gorging yourself, the GLP-1s are amazing. I've been using them for a while now, and I feel actually full. Before the GLP-1s, I could never feel full. There's been a lot of health benefits associated with the GLP-1s. Now, I know some people are very nervous, and that's fine. You can be nervous. But I felt like I've done enough to where I feel confident about taking GLP-1s, and it's been working for me. My blood work is improved dramatically. So if you're ready to lose weight, increase your health overall, then check out LifeRx.com under the LifeRx. In the link below, and you could see the link right there. The link is in the description below. Go click on that and get started today with better health. And what's really cool is that Fox was doing a report that was showing that GLP-1s have now linked to protection for women of cancer. So if you're interested in, maybe it's pretty cool that it not only loses weight, your blood work will look better, at least mine did. But now there's a protection for women, a major study reveals in regards to cancer. So give it a try. The link is in the description. I've been using it. I think they have great customer service. So that's why I partnered with them. So go check that out. Okay, so Homeland Security Secretary wants to talk about how over 9 million illegal aliens have social security numbers given by the Biden administration.
He's brilliant. He's going to be working to make sure that individuals who got Social Security numbers in this country should be using them for the right things, and they shouldn't be on our benefit programs. We have over 6,000 individuals that have been identified through their work already that have been on the terrorist watch list, that they are known criminals.
How does that happen, Madam Secretary? How does that happen?
It happens when you put a train wreck like Joe Biden in the White House, and it's going to be a lot of work to clean it up. But just in the last 4.5 years, we've had over 9 million people get Social Security numbers that are not U.S. citizens. So they may be people who have some sort of legal status, but a lot of them are illegals that were given a Social Security number in just the last 4.5 years that we're going to have to figure out if they should be here, if they are here legally under a program, and if they are here illegally, then they certainly shouldn't be using that Social Security number to be on our programs, and they should be removed or given the opportunity to go home on their own.
And let me tell you, from a bank standpoint, the banks don't care, and they will loan out money on that Social Security number. Just saying. Now, this video is not new. It's just resurfacing again. But Democrats have filed lawsuits against the USDA for trying to find out how many illegal aliens are receiving welfare. But remember, Doge, they talked about how many illegal aliens had Social Security numbers. So let's recap and let's remember, go back to memory lane, which was just last few months ago, about the staggering number that blew them away.
When we saw these numbers, we're like, what is this? In 21, you see 270,000 people, goes all the way to 2.1 million in 24. These are non-citizens that are getting Social Security numbers.
Yeah, this is a mind-blowing chart.
Yeah, just this literally blew us away. Like, we went there to find fraud, and we found this by accident. And this isn't political, by the way. My parents are immigrants. Yeah, this country's been great to us. My brother and sister all born in Spain. I'm pro-legal immigration. This is not political. This is not political. This is about America and the future of America. And there are a lot of good people in the system that pointed us in this direction. I want to honor them right now, that work in the government today, who took risks to show us these numbers and tell us what's going on. Yeah. So I want to stop for a minute. I want to honor those people today. Very good people. Very good people. I have been from D.C. to Social Security offices to the border to track this down, and very good people have helped us along the way. I want to thank them.
Yeah.
This number, what this is when you come in the country, if you're an illegal, there's a couple ways to come in. You come in through a port of entry, and you can tell them you're afraid, and they'll give you an asylum case. You'll get an interview, then you get in. That's one way to do it. Another way to do it is to just go to the border. Literally, this happened. I talked to Border Patrol myself. Elon was there too. I went to Laredo, and I went to Bronzeville. Elon went to Eagle Pass. You walk up to a Border Patrol officer, and you tell them you want to come in. They have a couple of choices. They could charge you with a misdemeanor or a felony under 1325, or they can make it an administrative offense, like a parking ticket, basically. They were told to do that, make it an administrative offense under the last administration. And then you go walk across the border. They do what's called a release on your own recognizance, and they give you an NTA, notice to appear, which is to appear to judge. The wait times on judges are like average 6 years. Look at Grok, you'll see it on immigration judges, benefit programs. And then what was really, really disturbing us was why. We're asking ourselves why. Right. And so we actually just took a sample and looked at voter registration records. And we found people here registered to.
Remember that I think it was a sheriff in San Joaquin County in California that found the illegals registered to vote in San Joaquin. And Steven Crowder, because you guys know that Donald Trump was on 60 Minutes, and Steven Crowder published this, and this is why people don't trust the news, because they doctor it, they change it, and they manipulate it, and that's been one of the main ways that they mind control people. Check out how they craftily edited this interview from Donald Trump, the edited version versus what was really said.
All we're saying, give us an extension, we'll work it out. They've lost their way. They become crazed lunatics. And all they have to do, Nora, is
this
say,
is what they aired.
Let's vote.
So, Hakeem,
Senate Democrats say they will vote to reopen the government if Republicans agree to extend subsidies for over 20 million Americans who use Obamacare for their health insurance.
All we're saying, give us an extension, we'll work it out. They've lost their way. They become crazed lunatics. And all they have to do, Nora, is say, let's vote. And you can open, the economy could open up during our interview.
Is there something you can do, though? Is there something you
can do
to bring this to an end?
All I can do is give the facts. Here's what I can't do. I can't give them $1.5 trillion so that they can give welfare to people that came into our country illegally, so that prisoners and that people from mental institutions and people that are drug dealers get vast amounts of money for health care. That I can't do.
Wow. I understand, and there are some...
And that's why people don't trust the media, because they are very... they're very deceptive in their editing practices. They're very creative in their editing processes. And that's why people don't trust mainstream media. And I don't know why Donald Trump keeps going on shows like that when he can come on shows like this. And I won't edit facts just like this. So people, even on social media, are seeing through all the nonsense. So check out this video that this one gentleman posted, because he's seeing through the nonsense. And I hope more and more people are seeing through the lies and manipulation and the nonsense.
So, yeah, here we go again. All the I'd never support Trump or anyone who supports Trump crowd is about to have a full-blown identity crisis. Why? Do pray tell. That privately funded list just came out. And guess who's helped funding that new White House ballroom? Still not your tax dollars. No. Some of your favorite brands.
Elitist media deceives, but Faith and Freedom TV amplifies truth. Our world-leading platform delivers news, teachings, worship, movies, and music rooted in biblical values and constitutional patriotism, inspiring faith and liberty. We inspire, equip, and amplify Christian patriots to share powerful stories of faith, family, and freedom. With live events, thousands of on-demand videos, and access on Roku, Fire TV, Apple TV, Android, and iOS, we're transforming culture globally for God and country. New content is coming to ignite faith. Join our mission to counter deception. Visit faithandfreedom.tv and download the Faith and Freedom TV app today.
Let's start with Apple. Yeah, that device that you're probably watching this on. The same one that you post Trump as a fascist from. I hate to tell you, you just made a campaign donation with Face ID. Better chuck that iPhone and grab a flip phone, Patriot. Salute! Comcast, time to unplug. No Netflix, no Hulu. Just sit there and stare at a blank screen and think about your life choices. You okay over there? Google, you better not Google how to cancel Prime, because congrats, you just supported Trump twice. Why? Because guess who's next? Amazon. Yeah, that same place that you order your fake ass eyelashes and that live, laugh, love sign that you definitely don't live, laugh, or love by. You better delete Prime, sweet cheeks. Guess it's back to waiting in line at Walmart like the rest of us peasants, since you're on your iWars and all, you know. Bougie. HP. Hope you didn't print that no hate in my state sign on an HP printer. That's basically a GOP ATM now. Time to handwrite your protest in crayon, champ. Lockheed Martin. You scream defund the military and now your defense contractors out here buying chandeliers for said ballroom. You're basically sponsoring the next Marine Corps ball, my friend. Meta. That orange man bad meme you posted? It's hanging on the wall in the new ballroom. Doing the cha-cha. Delete your account because you're more than likely watching this on a Meta platform and boosting this post at the same time just by watching. Microsoft. Word, Teams, Outlook, all of it. It's basically Microsoft now. Dust off that typewriter and live your truth. And lastly, T-Mobile. Every pink phone and text trash and Trump, yeah, you just pay for the drywall. If you're serious about not supporting Trump or anyone who supports Trump, start packing. Unplug, unfollow, uninstall. You're moving to the woods with a rotary phone and 2 pigeons.
Yep.
Have a good one.
Yep. Perfect. Hey, and while you're at it, ditch T-Mobile and join Patriot Mobile. It's the only Christian conservative cell phone carrier out there. And what's really awesome is to get a free month of service by using my name. Yeah, you know, the walk away. People are walking away and realizing that the media lies to them. So they did the whole narrative about how Donald Trump's defacing the White House in history and all this stuff, even though Obama did it, and he charged it to the taxpayers' account. President Trump wants to host people and not be on the lawn. And so he fundraised for it and he made a great ballroom. So you could see how the media manipulation about how Donald Trump is so bad. He's destroyed history, destroyed the White House and using your tax dollars when he never did such a thing. So here's another one. Someone also on social media is understanding the game being played about the government shutdown. Check it out.
I just want to remind you that the reason why the government is still shut down is because the Senate Democrats have voted no for the 13th time.
Yep.
And while they sit and try to convince you that Trump's ballroom is the priority, even though it has nothing to do with your tax dollars, or the fact that it's the Republicans' fault because they control the Senate, even though there's a need for a cloture, which means that there is a need for 60 senators to say yes in order to end the filibuster. So there's a need for 6 more Democrats to say yes, and they are refusing.
Yep.
They are still getting paid.
Yep.
So that's just a reminder.
Yep. And that's what I told the Border Patrol. I said, well, the senators are still getting paid while you're not. I want to close this segment with a couple of videos that have to do with Christianity and what's happening in Nigeria. So the U.S. Department of War dropped a video warning Muslim terror groups in Nigeria about the ethnic cleansing that is being done against Christians. And I really thank this administration for protecting Christians, not only here, but around the world. Here we go.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
Yeah. And one last video about this is one lady who is just as upset as I am about the Christians and being slaughtered in Nigeria. And I want you to watch this video and what she has to say.
Christians in Nigeria are being slaughtered, beheaded. I saw the videos. I'm gonna post them later. Beheaded for being Christians and their belief by radical Islamic terrorists who the Biden and Harris administration allowed to come over here. So they're being killed for their belief. And President Trump has issued their president and a warning saying that if he don't do anything about what's happening to our Christian brothers and sisters, he's going to stop funding and he's going to go in and take care of it. Now you have Nicki Minaj, who goes and make a post and thanking President Trump for doing something about this because the Biden and Harris administration didn't do anything to help them about doing something about this, and she's getting slack from the Democratic Party and the Democratic voters for just saying thank you for helping the Christians from being slaughtered. And this is your Democratic Party. I told you guys, these people are the party of Satan. They're evil. They hate Jesus and Christians. This is who this party is. Thank you, President Trump. Thank you, Jesus, for listening to your people. And we are praying for our Nigerian brothers and sisters in Christ.
Tired. Every day we bury our people. Every day. And still they say there's no massacre, no genocide of Christians in Nigeria. Look around you. What is this if not...
Is there any Muslim here? No. United Nations, I know you're watching me. American Senate, you are watching what I'm doing. I'm saying here. Special advisor to Trump. Now, please tell Trump to save our life in Nigeria. They are killing Christians in Nigeria. Massacre Christians. If they say they kill Muslims, Muslims are being killed. By who? By Muslims.
What is really going on? The videos online are heartbreaking, and yet the world seems to sleep. Why should Americans care about this?
Well, Laura, we need to care, and I care as a Christian, as a Catholic. Our brothers and sisters in Christ right now are being martyred every day in Nigeria for the profession of their faith in our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. The government is the one who's propagating propaganda in this. This has been going on since 2009. There's in between 50,000 and 100,000 Christians have been murdered. Just this year, 7,000 alone. That's 35 a day. And this claim of ethnic conflict is totally bogus. It is 5-to-1 Christians being killed as opposed to other religions in Nigeria right now. This is a genocide that's happening, and we have to stand up and we have to speak out to stop this.
I mean, we heard about the Free Palestine movement and the concern about, innocent people being killed or caught in the crossfire. This is a deliberate targeting of people, women and children for their faith. It's happening in Sudan. It's happening in Nigeria. And what can America do with our economic might and all of our influence to try to stop this madness and this ongoing slaughter? What power do we have over this part of the world?
Well, let me speak specifically to Nigeria. This is why I've requested for Nigeria to be designated a country of particular concern, which Trump had done in his first administration. But of course, the Biden administration took that designation off because they claimed the killing had more to do with land disputes that were started because of climate change. Hard to believe, but that's what they had claimed in this. So we're asking for this designation to get put back on because it actually made a difference in slowing down and stopping killings in this region. But we have to do something to stop this.
Well, Congressman, public awareness is growing and people want answers and want action. Congressman, thank you very much.
Hey friends, if you're looking for a doctor you can trust, look no further than Dr. Stella, and you can find her at drstellamd.com. Let me show you one of the areas that I love about Dr. Stella. I enjoy supporting the immune system, especially when it comes to cold and flu season. And I love the Covey Light, the Covey Sleep, especially if you're having trouble sleep at night. Get that Covey Sleep. It'll help you so much. So not only are you supporting the immune system, but it also helps you get a good night's sleep. The Covey Spray, super easy. Covey Bites. These are my favorite, the Covey Bites. She has placed vitamin C, D, zinc, and quercetin. And we all know that that zinc helps support the body's immune system, but zinc needs delivery system. So that quercetin is the delivery system to drive that zinc in to help your body heal faster and feel better. Also has Covey vitamins for kids as well. Hey, and if you're looking to get ivermectin or hydroxychloroquine, or you just feel under the weather and need a doctor you can trust, set up a telemed appointment with her. And the best part is when you use my name Amber or Amber May at checkout, whether you need your Covey Bites or a telemed appointment, you will save money at checkout. So don't forget to use promo code Amber or Amber May at checkout to save some money. So go visit drstellamd.com and then use promo code Amber or Amber May at checkout to save some money.
I'm author and filmmaker Dinesh D'Souza, and you're watching The Amber May Show.
And hey, if you haven't made the switch to Patriot Mobile, why not? They're the only Christian conservative cell phone carrier out there. Have access to all 3 major networks. Keep your name, keep your number, keep your phone, or upgrade. With 100% U.S. customer service base, it makes switching easy. And the best part is, when you use my name Amber, you're going to get a free month of service. So go to patriotmobile.com/Amber or call 972-PATRIOT and let them know Amber sent you. That's again, patriotmobile.com/Amber or 972-PATRIOT and get that free month of cell phone service. And now we return to the show already in progress. Hey friends, like I told you, I have my guest Scott Walter joining us, so let's welcome him to the program. Welcome, Scott. So glad to have you.
Great to be with you.
Well, hey, I am just sporting my new hoodie. I just made this for my show, so that's why I'm wearing it. I'm really excited, super comfy. So this is the first episode I got to wear my hoodie on. What do you think so far? I know it's hard to see, but
No, that's great.
Are you a hoodie kind of guy?
I confess I'm not a big one, no.
No.
But I'm a pretty boring fuddy-duddy when it comes to clothes.
That's okay. Well, I'm happy to have you on my show. Now, I read this article. You were interviewed. Let's see. You were interviewed by the Daily Signal. And the second time I read it, I'm like, I know that guy. I know the president. Oh my gosh. The first time I didn't catch it, but now I'm like, I know him. I know him. I felt really cool, Scott, that the guy in the article is someone I knew. So here's the article. And today, we're talking about the homeless and the funneling of homeless money that's not really going to the homeless. And I love how the Daily Signal, I don't know if you called it this or they called it this, but the homeless industrial complex. And I wanted to talk about that today with you. There was another, it did show up. Oh, cool. In this article, I'm going to share with you really quick, because it's going to be a bit easier to see on this. I downloaded this report that the Capital Research Center put together about where the homeless money is going. And it's a lot bigger than in this article from the Daily Signal. Do you remember what you shared with that article, or should I read it for you to remind yourself, because I'm sure you talk to a lot of people.
Well, I can't say that I remember everything. Yes, you're right. I do a fair number of interviews, so it's hard to remember a particular interview, but I know the report reasonably well.
Okay, great. Let's get into that, because nothing makes me angry than injustice, okay? And especially stolen money. I like Donald Trump right now. I feel like he's the reverse Robin Hood. Robin Hood stole from the rich to give to the poor. Well, he's stealing from the rich that stole from, I guess, if you want to call us the poor, the regular everyday people. So he's reverse Robin Hood. He wants to take the money that the rich stole from us and give back to us. And I'm really angry when I see this, because we have such a homeless problem here in Phoenix, and I know it's across the nation. In that report, I'll pull up the map. I want people to see this map. And it's interesting because you can tell, like, in my state, we're more purple than I'd like it to be. But let me show this report, and it shows how bad homeless is. And in the so-called Democrat areas where they so-called care about the people, they have the highest homeless rates. Like California, 187,000. Colorado, 18,000. New York, where Mondami wants to be the mayor, 158,000 people experience homeless per 10,000. The floor is yours, sir. Tell me what you guys found in this report.
Well, the phrase you asked about, the homelessness industrial complex, I'm pretty sure that was coined originally by my friend Christopher Rufo. And Chris Rufo kindly wrote a foreword to our report on homelessness because he's been working on this for so many years. Now, some of the central points that are in our report, and it's 100 some pages. People can get it at capitalresearch.org and type in homelessness.
And I'm going to have it in the description below. So if anyone wants to see it, it'll be super easy. You just click the link below and you'll see it.
Yep. So the thing to say is, first, it is a complicated picture, right? Because there's so many billions of dollars going to so many hundreds of groups that, there is a variety. There are people who actually want to help suffering people on the streets. That is true. There are also people who have really foolish ideas about how to help the folks on the street. And then there are also really radical people who don't give a damn about folks suffering on the street and just want to use them as political props for their radical, see, people are on the street, therefore we have to destroy the country because it's the country's fault. Now, two of the really bad policy ideas that we focus a lot on and that sort of make it easier for the radicals to come in and infiltrate the larger homelessness movement are two things. One is called Housing First, which is the idea that you just got to get people into housing and that'll solve the problems, even if they're fentanyl addicts or schizophrenics. Ordinary Americans realize that's pretty nutty. But unfortunately, over time, that's the way a lot of the homeless movement has gone. And then the other is something called harm reduction. Now, of course, both these things sound wonderful, especially harm reduction. Who could be opposed to reducing harm? What they actually mean is you're a heroin addict. We're going to get you clean needles. Now, that's going to reduce the likelihood of harm to you. Well, maybe it's going to increase the likelihood that you OD on heroin. That's the sort of thing they mean by harm reduction. And again, ordinary people, you don't need a doctorate in social work to know that there may be problems with this. This doesn't sound ideal.
I have heard about the Homeless First, and I have also heard that it is an utter failure. It does not work. I think what they need to be doing is bringing mental illness hospitals back, insane asylums back. They closed them down several decades ago. Why? I don't know, because that would be a very great place to have. Then you could take these people, especially the mentally ill that we've all seen on the streets, and give them the care that they actually need. And then the grant money or the government money could be going to a hospital like that. Versus what we're discussing here is what term would you use? Is it money laundering? What term would you use for this, where they say they're going to do this one thing and then turns out they're not really using the money in the way they claim they're going to?
Well, very often the money is not going to actually relieve the suffering of people who are suffering. God knows, you're out on the street, you're suffering. You're schizophrenic and untreated. You're a fentanyl addict and untreated. You are suffering. That is true. And Americans are generous and compassionate. And we don't want to see that. We want to help those folks. But the problem is that partly because of the bad policies that they have wrapped themselves into, and partly because they've moved from a focus on actually helping people to advocating and litigating, suing Phoenix and whatnot for more bad policy stuff and more bad spending. So it's just a mess. And as you pointed out on that map, the places that claim they care about people suffering, that say we're going to help the poor and the homeless, aren't actually helping them. It is failing. And, the first step is the truth. Somehow all of our good intentions and all of our billions of tax dollars have not made lives better.
No, it hasn't. In the Daily Signal, it said that the report infiltrated, which will be in the description below, the ideological capture of homelessness advocacy, focused on 759 organizations. And I saw it, and I was just kind of scrolling briefly through the report, and there was a lot of organizations in there that filled amicus briefs in the Supreme Court case, Grants Pass versus Johnson, arguing that laws against camping on the sidewalk violate the Eighth Amendment prohibition on cruel and unusual punishment. The Supreme Court disagreed, but the nonprofit support for this claim illustrates how organizations founded to help solve homeless crisis engage in activism that arguably exacerbates it. That was disgusting. I can't believe that these nonprofits would advocate that these people have a right to sleep on the sidewalk. And then it goes on and says the Capital Research Center report finds that nonprofits collectively have $9.1 billion in total revenue and receive at least $2.9 billion in government grants. That's 32% of their revenue, according to IRS filings. Now, if you could explain to me a little bit more about all of that I just read, and what is Grant Pass versus Johnson? Is Grant Pass like an organization? Are they a grant?
No, Grants. I know the name's confusing.
Yeah,
Grants Pass is a town in Oregon.
Okay,
and they passed the law that 70% or more of Americans would agree with, that we're not going to allow big encampments of homeless people in the middle of our streets and parks.
Right.
And they, of course, were sued by left-wing groups and for doing this supposedly outrageous thing. And then because it became a major court case that was going all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court, you had hundreds and hundreds of groups that say they care about homelessness, signing on to friend of the court brief. The amicus brief is just Latin for friend of the court. So all these hundreds of groups were saying, oh, goodness, Mr. Supreme Court Justice, Miss Supreme Court Justice, you need to throw out this law because people have a right to die slowly in a camp on a city street.
That is not very heartfelt at all. Not very friendly at all. I was in downtown Phoenix last week at a supposedly community meeting by a judge who ordered the sheriff office locally here to have quarterly meetings so that the community can tell, the court and the monitors what a great job or what a horrible job they're doing. It's all show and scam, but I share that story just to say, the judge made us walk downtown. I was by myself as a female. The street smelled like piss downtown. The people were drugged out, and I was pretty scared. I couldn't bring anything to defend myself because he moved it from a normal building, like where anyone could go to very easy, to downtown Phoenix at night where we can't have any weapons on us to defend ourselves. I could have been mugged. There were homeless sleeping all over the street. And I'm just like, where's the city of Phoenix doing anything about this? I didn't see, the one time I even made, I even wrote a bill with a state legislator to sponsor about my friend who wants to provide first aid to the homeless. And the city of Phoenix officials trespassed him out of a public park and threatened to throw him in jail for providing medical without a license when he was just providing basic first aid. He wasn't providing any medicine at all. And it just made me so angry because especially I go back to that thinking I was walking the streets in downtown Phoenix where it smelled like piss. People were laying in it. People were drugged out and no one's helping them and then that's why this article really angers me because there's money being thrown at them. And yet the city of Phoenix here, and we saw the map, is choosing not to do anything with that money. So I get very angry when people mismanage money or people commit injustice against other people. And going back to the article, attacking Trump conservatives, the Southern Poverty Law Center, a left-wing nonprofit, puts mainstream conservative and Christian groups on a hate map. I would like you to talk about this alongside the Ku Klux Klan, unless you don't know about this, and has an endowment of more than $700 million and was the second largest nonprofit to sign an amicus brief in the Grant Pass case.
Yeah, no, the Southern Poverty Law Center is a really sad story. They were started decades ago when the Klan had some real political power in certain states. By the way, states not run by Republican officials. But anyway, the Klan existed. The Klan was a political menace in several states. And the SPLC was created to take them out. And they sued the Klan. And they won a lot of lawsuits, and they bankrupt the Klan, and they didn't eliminate it 100%, but they completely broke its political power and bankrupt Klan groups all over the South, and that was a good thing, obviously. But nonprofits have a terrible problem that a nonprofit designed to fix problem X. Well, if problem X pretty much gets fixed, unfortunately, the nonprofit stays around. So that's what the SPLC has done in all those decades since. And they now are a money-making machine. They're not a charity; they're a venture fund with as you said, $700 million sitting around in their coffers. But the way they stoke that money machine is by terrifying liberals that the Klan is around the corner, and perfectly normal conservative Christian groups like the Family Research Center or whatnot are actually hate groups, and they're no different from the Ku Klux Klan. Shortly before Charlie Kirk was shot, they put Turning Point USA, his organization, on their hate list. And by the way, they've actually caused, they have caused shootings to occur at places like this. When the Family Research Center's headquarters was invaded by a guy with a gun who ended up shooting a security guard, but the security guard was able to stop him before he could kill anybody. You can go online. You can watch the videotape of that guy saying, well, I chose the Family Research Council to shoot up because I saw the Southern Poverty Law Center explaining that it's a hate group. So, you literally have domestic terrorists saying on tape to police they chose their target because of the SPLC's lies. So just a despicable organization that once had a noble purpose.
And what was that term that you use that you used a term that they were a nonprofit, but
they're a venture fund. Well,
what does that mean? I don't know.
That's a joke. I apologize. When you have $700 million in the bank, and their annual spending is a small fraction of that. That's not a charity. Real charities typically are hand to mouth. I mean, if you're a really, and by the way, including wonderfully effective homeless charities that actually get people off the street, that help people kick drugs, that help people get mental health care they need. Those places are run on shoestrings, hand to mouth. They are not sitting with hundreds of millions of dollars in their bank account. And by the way, a good chunk of that is even in offshore investments. So you can't make it up. If there was some conservative, if the Heritage Foundation or some conservative group were Family Research Council, take that. If they were sitting on an obscene amount of money and had it invested in, in the Cayman Islands or whatever, they would be rightly excoriated. But this place just keeps sending out the direct mail to the hysterical liberals who are completely convinced that, we're already living through fascism.
I hope everyone will pick up your book, Arabella, The Dark Money Network of Leftist Billionaires Secretly Transforming America. You can find it on Amazon. It's a great book. I mean, I love that you really highlighted how bad Arabella is. I appreciate this book. You expose the Arabella advisors as dark money operation and the channel billionaires into progressive causes through opaque networks and deceptive grassroots groups, revealing its significant influence on U.S. policies and its far-reaching impact on issues from the Supreme Court nominations to election manipulation. And I would wonder, are they behind Mandami trying to win his mayoral race tomorrow? Maybe. I don't know. You probably know that answer. But the fact is that they manipulate elections. They impact the U.S. policies, and we don't want this dark money flowing anymore. So thank you for writing the book, Arabella, The Dark Money Network. I hope everyone will pick it up on Amazon. Thank you, Scott, Mr. President, President Scott Walter, for coming on my show today. I appreciate you.
Well, you have a great day, and thank you for all of your fighting for the good causes.
Thank you for joining us today on The Amber May Show. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Please make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And if there's someone that came to mind, please share this episode with them. Please follow us on Telegram at The Amber May Show, True Social, Amber May, Frank Socially, Amber May, or Clout Hub. I can't wait to see you next time on The Amber May Show.
The markets are in turmoil. Global trade disputes, government debt, and economic shifts are creating unprecedented uncertainty. Yet, gold and silver remain the ultimate safe haven assets, thriving when chaos reigns. Kirk Elliott Precious Metals empowers you to safeguard your future. Call 720-605-3900 or visit kepm.com/B2T to discover how to reposition your portfolio into low-cost, fully liquid gold and silver bullion. Unlike firms pushing overpriced rare coins, KEPM educates you, avoids high commissions, and charges nothing when you liquidate. With governments and banks scrambling, now is your chance to invest in assets that have stood the test of time. Join thousands who trust KEPM to protect their retirement with integrity. Call 720-605-3900 or go to kepm.com/B2T today to seize this historic bull market opportunity. Transform your health with the power of light. Introducing the future of natural healing. Are you seeking a natural, effective way to enhance your well-being, reduce pain, and accelerate healing? If you're looking for quick fixes or ignoring the importance of natural health solutions, this might not be for you. Backed by years of research and testimonials from health professionals, our quantum energy infrared light harnesses the scientifically proven benefits of red and infrared light therapy. Designed for those who value holistic health practices, our device offers a non-invasive, drug-free method to support your body's natural healing processes. Visit QEstrong.com now to discover how quantum energy can revolutionize your health routine. Experience deeper sleep, enhanced muscle recovery, reduced inflammation, and improved skin health, all with just a few minutes of use each day. Don't miss out on the healing power of quantum energy. Visit QEstrong.com and learn more to take the first step toward the healthier you. Join the thousands who have already discovered the life-changing benefits of quantum energy. It's time to prioritize your health and well-being. Unlock the healing power of light.
Hello, I'm Jordan, and this is my brother. And I'm Nace, and we're the Grid Down Chowdown. And this is Larry, who is a local rancher that we've partnered with. Now, Larry, you've been ranching for over 4 generations, is that correct?
That's correct. I'm 3rd generation, my son is 4th generation, and I've got some grandkids that are 5th generation.
Man, that's awesome.
We've been here for quite a while, yeah.
All right, now, Larry, your cattle is grass-fed, grass-finished, and pasture-raised, just like God intended them to be.
Yes, because I want to know what's in that animal,
right?
What it's been fed, and so the only way to do that is for us to keep it all natural, just like God has done it for years and years and years, thousands of years.
How has partnering up with us helped you and your ranch?
Well, it's allowed us to develop a market that we didn't have before, one that can get directly to the consumer, and that's great.
And just remember, more importantly, with every package that you buy, we put a salvation track in there. So from the bottom of our hearts, we thank you for allowing us to do what we believe that God has us here to do. And just remember, God loves you. He really does.
Amen.